Resident Evil 3. Mwahaha. Good game. Just another zombie game. This was just as enjoyable for me to play as much as RE2. It was literally the same game with just different skins and different settings and yeah, slightly different puzzles and mechanics, and it was ultimately the same thing. At your item box, your typewriter, your fancy clicky UI, your inventory, your herbs, whatever. Your guns, your reloading, your bullets, your mixing, exploring, walking around, shooting shit. Yeah. I guess the only difference here between this and 2 for comparison, because they're so similar. I wish they would have done a little bit more to make it a little bit different, but they just kind of went for the same thing, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, they're very different games in a very narrow-minded point of view, sure, but like, yeah. I actually like this one more than 2. I know 2 is the more popular one, but like, hey, dude, you know, there's Nemesis, he's so cool. You were really in the heart of the city in this one, the bright lights. It's a newer game, so naturally it is gonna look slightly better, unless it's just a mental thing. I like Jill. I've always liked her. I thought she was cool. She's hot in the movies. I mean, dude, Jill's from RE1. She's an OG. As much as I love my boy Leon, like, Jill's kind of where it's at, to be pretty honest. And obviously I like her a lot more than Claire. I don't know, because who did they have in the movies as the badass? Alice, right? Jill was probably the second coolest chick in the whole movies, let alone the games. And sure, Claire's up there too, okay, whatever. I'm not even gonna go there, but like, Jill's really cool. She's a cop, she wears a tank top, she's blue, I like her theme, I like her style. She's good with a gun. She is Resident Evil. She is ready for combat, dude. She's not just some rookie cop. She's not just some chick. She has experience, dude. She has literally the most seniority. I mean, sure, so does Chris. Basically everyone from 1, right? And 0, you can argue a little bit with 0, like Rebecca and Billy, right? But I don't know. But like here, you got, it's too good. I thought in 2 you got a taste of the city, but I think 3 you were really in the heart of it, and 3 is a lot. It's related to Resident Evil Apocalypse. I've seen Resident Evil Apocalypse so many times. And it's probably my favorite one, to be honest, the movie. Nemesis. You know, a lot of what I can't really connect with RE2 is that a lot of the movies, I grew up watching the movies. I accepted them, I liked them. That won't change. Is there wasn't really a lot of RE2 in the original, the movies, the Wes Anderson movies. Like, sure, they've touched upon it a lot more recently. Yeah, but here I could connect with it so well because I was like, dude, this is Resident Evil Apocalypse. Sure, they're not exactly the same two things, obviously, but they are so similar. It felt so good. You had familiar characters, Carlos. Granted, this is its own thing. It's not quite obviously the same as the movie. I just love the direction they took here. I don't know, RE3 is fun. When I get into it, when I play it, I'm having a good time. Is it kind of a short-ish game? Yeah, but dude, you get so much out of that short time that what's there to complain about? I'd rather have a nice, sweet, short, good game than something I can kind of replay and do slightly differently. Like, ooh, cool. Like RE2, for example. And dude, this is the full-fledged game. This isn't just, hey, play as Leon or Claire, play Leon A, Leon B. Like, what the hell, dude? Really? It's just more work than you have to do. What's the point? It's dumb. At least here, it's just a game. You don't get taken out of anything. You're not having to play a different character. You're not doing this or that, blah, blah, blah. It's very focused. It's very directional. It does what it wants to do. There's no, yes, Nemesis is kind of annoying. He chases you around a lot. Fine, whatever. That's his thing. That's what he does in the movie. Like, dude, I'd rather have Nemesis chasing me any day rather than Mr. X. Fuck Mr. X. I hate that guy, dude. He doesn't make the game enjoyable to play. He makes you anxious, which is the point. Makes you paranoid, but it's just annoying. It's just annoying. I don't want to deal with that in my games. I just want to have a good time, play it, enjoy it, relax, have fun, have a good time. Move on with my life. Be done with it. Do something else. I don't know. Maybe do a new game plus. Maybe do whatever. Play the DLC. You know, there's so many other things you could be doing rather than doing something over and over for like no reason at all. So as much as I love Leon, as good as RE2 is as a whole, that's what really brought this current meta of what Resident Evil is out, and I'll give it credit for that. Granted, RE7 basically did that, but I mean, let's face it, it mostly happened with RE2. I think RE7 was more of a test drive, if anything. Yeah, this game's just really good. I love the intro. I love where you start out. I love like just how it all begins, and it really feeds into that whole like, hey, you know, this is kind of the, what do you call that? Before like a big crisis happens or an apocalypse or I don't know. I know there's a saying or a phrasing. Basically, like, hey, you know, you're just chilling at home at one point, whatever. It's been done elsewhere, but I think sometimes it can kind of be rushed too. Like, oh, all of a sudden everything just turns to shit all at once, right? I like the direction that this game went because they kind of eased into it a little bit or just enough to be like, hey, you know what you're playing, you know what you got, you know what you're in for, you know what you paid for. You've played the other games, whatever. This comes out and it's like, hey, they're really allowing me to spend a little bit of time to just understand where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm in for. And I love when games do that and do it good. And that's what this game did. I think, okay, as far as 2 goes, they did something similar, but at the same time, these are really competitive games, by the way. They're so similar, they're so recent, they're so all these things. Same exact engine, everything, so that's why I keep going back to 2, but With 2, yes, they kind of chillaxed a little bit beforehand, right? I think you kind of need that. It's a really good transition. It's a good artistic, creative decision to make. Good direction. And all in all, that's what these games are. It's an art piece. It's, you know, how well was it received by the people? How good was it? It's its own thing that you can view as, it's no different than looking at a painting. You interpret it, you play it. You're the character. You're the one that's immersed in it. Yeah, it's a damn good looking game. The cutscenes look fantastic.
Carlos, you didn't even think to ask fine young lady her name? She is an elite operative of RPD, Special Tactics and Rescue Service. Her name is something Valentine.
It's Jill.
It's very smooth, it's very cinematic. Obviously, next gen helps even more. And or a good graphics card with your PC. But even on last gen, this looks great. It was just a very well, solid, put together game. Just like RE2. But I think when people look at this, similar to RE2, is oh, some cut content. Yeah, it was short. Like, I've heard it all, and I'm just like sitting there rolling my eyes, like, dude. I mean, I don't know how to, like. Granted, each person's opinion is the only one that matters to them at the end of the day. I get it. But, you know, I'm trying so hard to, like, convince these people out here that, like, this is a good game. Capcom is a good company. This was a very well put together, short, nice, sweet, fun, great experience. What is there to complain about, dude? They won't hesitate for a second to just go there, and it just frustrates the shit out of me, because it's like, bro, are you serious? Is your life so sad and pathetic that you can't find good things about the game? You have to sit there and be like, it was so terrible and all these things awful. It's offending. You can't wrong me for liking the game, dude. If anything, right? What's there to not like here? I don't understand. I don't compute with this process that's currently happening in my mind space. I don't know, man. What are you gonna do? Jesus. Sometimes it's not easy being the one that's just trying to be positive and have a good outlook and not take the easy way out, which easy way can be good. You know, I just want to fit in. Yeah, the game was awful. It was so bad. All the cut content. Nemesis was annoying. It was so short. Wah. It's like, shut up. Jesus Christ, dude. Drives me crazy, and I'm the one that has to tolerate that shit. Either way, I had a great time. So there's that. Yeah, it was just good. I loved every setting I went to. I loved every minute of it. And obviously, I never played the original 3. I never played the original Nemesis on the older stuff. So this to me was just great. And, okay, granted, just because I was there, I didn't partake in the game. I didn't play the original. I'm not as old school, I'm not as traditional, sorry. But I'm not exactly like a child either, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I think my opinion and validation of this game is very compromisable because I have to look at it, I get to look at it in a much bigger, brighter, lighter way. I don't just immediately go like, oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, is everyone gonna like the game? No. Do most people like it? I want to say so. I hope so. There's just so much good to be had here. Granted, it's not a perfect game. I'm sitting here praising it. But I realize it's not perfect, but the things that I hear about are probably the last, these big overall giant things. For me, it's just small stuff like usual. Like, okay, Jill kind of looks like one of my old stepsisters. That's disturbing. I still think Jill's hot, but not at the same time. I kind of have to look at her in a weird way. Anyways, Carlos has big fuzzy mop hair. But these type of things, they're just funny. They're just small little dumb things to like bitch about, and no one really cares, right? But when you're going there, obviously saying, especially in public areas and to other people, having to read that stuff in real time, right? Especially, or comments, whatever, of the things that people will come up with to basically boycott this game or give it a bad review and 1 star, and oh, those people like that, dude. Just being negative for negative's sake, and it's like, that's not really helping the world become a better place. Sorry. You think you're doing good by doing bad, and I don't think it works that way. Yeah, this is Resident Evil. It had everything here. It had good music, it had good setting, Raccoon City, the characters, the music, everything was so good. It's so worth the money, it's worth the buy, it's worth the time, it's worth the effort. And yes, it's very similar problems I had with RE2. The aiming's a little wonky. I played this on controller. Nothing wrong with that. This is not something that's like, oh, it has to be PC or no. I'd say it's more of a controller-friendly game in my opinion, but it's like, dude, you don't have to be like a perfect shot, you know? You're just playing a game, dude. Relax. It's supposed to be fun. There's people that take all the fun out of it. It's a zombie game, man. They're undead things that aren't real, and like it's just a fun, fantasy, goofy, stupid thing to like be entertained by, man. That's it. It's that simple. It's literally that basic. That's all there is to it. Nothing else. There's other ways to entertain yourself. There's other ways to keep you busy. This is just one of them. That's all it is. Is it a good way to keep yourself busy? Yes. Is it a good way to have a good... Is it a good experience? For sure. But yeah. So basically, if I had to favor between this and 2, I'd favor this one. Easy. I know that's not what the populace would say, but... I don't really go down that road, so... And it's not even on purpose type of thing either. Like, this game naturally and utterly just makes a lot more sense to me. It's just... There's some areas too, and I'm a sucker for lighting. There's some areas that are just so, like... that make you remember, like, hey, you are just playing a game, you're sitting in your room, you're relaxing, having a good time, well, whatever, right? You're really enjoying this piece of art that has been given to you and distributed and sold to you as a customer who just happen to have enough money and the resources to play it. And it becomes a part of your life. It's memories, it's good times, it's ways to make bonds with other people and connections. I don't know. I think at some point you start to see so much toxicity almost everywhere that you go, and you can't get away from it, and it's unfortunate and all these things, and it sucks that life is the way that it is, and there's really not much you can do about it, blah blah blah. But it's games like this that really remind me, you know, to stay positive, stay true, carry that light strong, don't give up, don't give in. It's just a game. But to me, it's more than a game. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice. I could be climbing a mountain right now, but instead I'm playing Resident Evil 3. And, you know, no one wants to like regret their own choices, and some people do, unfortunately, but it's like, be happy that you spent the time, that you got to play something so good. We should be kissing Capcom's feet right now. Just like, thank you. Thank you. Instead of like, oh, this game is bad. Oh. Okay. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, the gameplay was good. I thought it was nice here that obviously Jill's the main character, right? But it was nice that we also weren't alone. I like seeing these characters' chemistry. You know, it's like watching superheroes or something. It's like I like seeing how well together two very particular people can work together. You know, what kind of strengths and weaknesses do they have to complement each other in the best way possible for any given situation that they just might happen to be in at that time. And I think Jill and Carlos make a really good team. You know, they're kind of button heads. They kind of bicker and giving each other a hard time, and I can respect that. As long as they're not giving each other too much of a hard time. I like to see them get along. I like to see them, you know, kick ass together, and then it's always cool when, because throughout all these games you've been able to kind of see them work with different people or all at once or whatever, and it's cool to see what they can do. Because it just really goes to show that like sometimes you need people, sometimes you need help, and sometimes you can't do everything by yourself, and it's not always about you, and it's about other people as well. Other people exist, teammates, you're being part of a team, and you can really kind of appreciate that aspect and perspective on life. You gotta have someone watch your back, man, because it's hard to watch your own back. You literally can't see your back. So, that's, you know, that's pretty cool. I didn't really care for like the bad guys here. Bad guys, yeah. I thought they were kind of cheesy and corny, and it's Resident Evil though, man. That's what these games do. It's fine. Game escalated quite a bit. Start in the city, you go deeper and deeper into whatever it is that you're doing. You know, the usual. Yeah, I like the variety here. I mean, it was all zombies, right? A lot of the same exact zombies that were in the second game. I don't know, I mean, what else is there? Some slightly different guns. Can play as different characters. Granted, you're still in Raccoon City just like RE2, but at least this time you're not just stuck in the police station or... You know, you actually got to like really walk around and... I spent half the time, my first time playing, just literally... I played 2 or 3 times by now at this point. But I spent most of the time just sitting there like staring at pictures and just all the detail and all the different posters they had, and there's so much to look at. I think when you think of RE2 as pretty bare bones, when you think about it, like there just wasn't really a lot going on. Here's the thing, I think 2 is more original. I think it was just far off enough from 1 and 0, whatever, that it was fun, it was dark, it was spooky and rainy and scary and creepy and everything that the game is trying to do. I think here there's a lot of similar things, but it was also very bright and very, well, that's not entirely true, but you could see where you're going. You could this is the calm before the storm. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. It's the calm before the storm, you know? We're not just kind of in the storm at this point. We're trying to get out of there. We're trying to escape. I think things like this are really fun because you can connect it to zombie movies like the Resident Evil movies. Like 28 Days Later, Weeks Later, for example. I kind of love that, like, oh, we're in the shit, dude, we need to get the fuck out of here. Let's escape, let's go, let's kick some ass while we're at it on the way. But yeah, I want to leave. I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere where it's safe, and I can sit down and take a shower and watch some TV and move on with whatever life this is that I'm currently in. That's what we all want at the end of the day, is peace. So that's what keeps you going throughout this whole game, is just escaping, getting away from Nemesis, eventually killing the goddamn thing, right? Taking out the bad guys. Surviving. That's what this is. That's life. Surviving. And it didn't steer away from that for a second. Granted, it's a survival horror game. That's what it does. That's its only purpose. It's why it exists. But see, RE2 did that as well, but I just feel like you were still stuck in very few places. There's variety, sure, but like... And that's the thing, if like the original Resident Evils, if you're gonna stick me on something for a long time, at least have it be like a train or a nice house, a mansion, instead of like this stupid police station that I don't really give a shit about. Granted, most of Resident Evil is about the RPD, I get it. Stars, whatever, what all else they have, SBCA or some, I don't know, all that stuff, right? All the acronyms. But yeah, I don't know, this game was just fun. Like, I'd play it again. I wouldn't mind doing a challenge mode. I wouldn't mind doing a new game plus or new game, whatever. I like I remember watching the leaks for this video, or this game. I remember when it came out, I remember like how big it was and how unfortunately it had to compete with RE2, and I think even the marketing and stuff knew that, the devs, right? Like, they knew that people weren't gonna like this as much as RE2, because what did we do? Play RE2 first, obviously. So naturally, because of our human minds and emotions and feelings, we were naturally more drawn to 2, but that does not mean that this is not a good game by any means. You know, I feel like half the world revolves in reverse psychology. Do you want this game is shit? You want me to say that just to make it good? Like, what do you want me to do? I don't know. I mean, if unfortunately it has to be one of those things where, like, dude, this is not a cliche niche indie type of thing, man. Like, this isn't like, oh, I'm in the little club that I want to belong in and I'm the only one, like, around me that likes Resident Evil 3. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do at all. I wish more people would like this. I wish that other people are in the same boat. I wish we all had the same point of view. But we're not gonna, and I understand that, and I get it. But I think when people harp on things like that, be a little bit more sensitive about it at least, right? Like, there's even a lot of games that I hate on, surprisingly. But dude, I have my justified reasons for those. Like, and that's just more of a worldwide, commonly accepted thing, but yet people love to go against the grain. This is a great game. Don't skip it. Buy it. Don't even think about it. Buy it. Play it. Enjoy it. Love it. Embrace it. Like it. Do whatever you have to do. And you can argue by just me bringing up the fact that I do have to defend this game quite a bit is the very argument it's going to take for people to be interested in it and play it anyway, right? Bad press is good press. That is kind of what's happening here. But I'm saying at the same time, it's not just bad. It's good. And slightly bad. It's just something you can't go wrong with. When something is good and bad, I think those are the things you really need to go for, because not everything is going to be perfect. Not everything's going to be good. Not everything's going to be complete shit. Unless that's literally what they were going for and they actually accomplished that mission. But that's so rare that you'll even come across stuff like that. There's no such thing. Like, the tips of the scale do not have to be, you know, lean towards so much one side or the other. It's about balance. Yeah, it's just a good little, nice, fun, quick adventure. Fun little quest. If you like Resident Evil at all, you'll play it whether you like it or not. If you're interested in it, great. You're probably really cool. And we could be friends. Let's be friends. You know, let's support these games enough to a point where they make more of them. And they do well, and they get well received, and that's what we love to see. We like to see good things. No one likes to cry. No one likes to be angry. No one likes to be upset and frustrated and sad, and it's not good. So, I mean, if I didn't like this game, period, I'd say I don't like it. I'm not afraid to do that. But I love it, and I'll bring up whatever I have to express that as best as I can. Because this is how we can start to achieve kind of world peace. Is by just, you know, instead of getting stuck in our own heads, we can just kind of come together and enjoy these games. And there's no such thing as a perfect world, but there can be. And I only bring this up because this game, as much as it's just a game to play, it's kind of controversial, so, you know. But hey, it's just fun. Fun! What is that? Fun. But yeah. Resident Evil 3,